7. How to change the status in 3 dimensions and positions. Okay. Hello guys, welcome to this video. It's very recommended for you if you watch our previous video tutorials, because this SolidWorks tutorials video series is for anyone who really wants to understanding the system and process of the basic lessons about how to using SolidWorks, not only memorize the step-by-step. In this video, we will learning about SolidWorks sketching for beginner. There's divided into few segment including 1. What is a sketch? 2. How to create a new sketch. 3. How to create a sketch geometry. 4. What is a sketch geometry relations. 5. What is a sketch status, underdefined, fully defined, or overdefined. 6. What is an impact of relations, dimensions and positions in a sketch. And 7. How to change the sketch into 3D geometry with Extrude feature. Okay, to learn all topics about SolidWorks sketching for beginners, we will divide it into 2 videos. In the first video about SolidWorks sketching for beginners, we will learn point number 1 to 4. And in the second video, we will learn point number 5 to 7. Okay, let's start the lesson. Number 5. What is a sketch status? Okay, look at the status bar. In the status bar, beside the editing sketch notification, we can see underdefined notification 2. This is called as a sketch status in SolidWorks. This sketch status notification appears in the status bar when we are on the sketching position. There's 3 main sketch status in the SolidWorks: underdefined, fully defined, and overdefined. Underdefined sketch status. This is the same as with when we are build a building. When some engineer and labor build a building, we often find a under construction board in around that area. That's notifications tell us the building is being processed and we can be more careful if we are on that area. As same as with when we are sketching in SolidWorks, underdefined sketch tell us that our sketch is still being processed. In other words, now we are still build our sketch till we get the sketch shape or sketch profile that we want. Then, fully defined sketch status. This is the recommended sketch status for our sketch in SolidWorks. Fully defined sketch means our sketch are already completed and ready to use. To create a sketch to be fully defined sketch, we need 3 main points: relations, dimensions, and position. Remember, relations, dimension, and position. And the last is overdefined sketch status. If this sketch status appears, that means we adjust our sketch too much and too over. This condition is not recommended for sketching in SolidWorks. Okay, to get more understanding about this sketch status, we can check in the next topic in this video tutorial. Remember, for fully defined sketch status we need to adjust the relations, dimension and position. Number 6. What is an impact of relations, dimensions and positions in a sketch? Now, we know the recommended sketch status is fully defined, and to get fully defined sketch, we need to adjust the relations, dimension and positions of the sketch geometry. In this case we already adjust the relations of the sketch geometry to get the rectangular shape. Now the rectangular shape cannot change into another shape like parallelogram, trapezoidal or else, except if we delete the sketch relations and modify the shape. Now after we get the shape of the sketch geometry, to get the fully defined sketch status we should to add the dimensions on that sketch geometry. Click the Smart Dimension icon. Then click this line as a width of the rectangle sketch geometry. Then drag the pointer and click. After that, input the 200 mm in the Smart Dimension dialog box that appears. To accept the dimension value, click OK. Now, click this line as the length of the rectangle sketch geometry. Then drag the pointer and click. Input the 300 mm in the Smart Dimension dialog box. And click OK, or press Enter button on the keyboard. Then to end the Smart Dimension command we can click OK in the Property Manager, or push Escape button on the keyboard. Now, we already have a rectangular shape sketch geometry that already defined with the dimensions. In SolidWorks, if we want to create a sketch geometry, the first step that we should do is define the shape. After that we can add the dimension of that shape. So we should focus first in the shape of the sketch geometry. This will make our imagination of the sketch shape more better than we must create the line while input the dimension on the same time. Okay, now, look at the status bar. The status bar shows us this sketch are still underdefined. So, the last step that we should do to make this sketch get the fully defined status is adjusting the sketch geometry position. To adjust the position of the sketch geometry, we can make the origin as the main first reference. So we should set the position of sketch geometry then the system origin. To adjust the position, we can using a relations or dimensions. Okay, we will make this point touching the origin point. Click this sketch geometry point. Then push and hold Ctrl button to select two or more items. After that, click the origin point. Now after we selected the 2 points, we can see there's many choices of relations appears. We can choose and click coincident relations. Then, to finish the relations commands and to set the pointer free, we can click wherever on the graphic area or push Escape button on the keyboard. Now, as we can see the sketch geometry color change from the blue into black. This is the signal that our sketch geometry was fully defined sketch status. Look at the status bar. We can see here, the status bar still show us underdefined. Why? Look at the single line. The single line color is still blue. This is why the status bar show underdefined notification. Okay, click the single line. Push the delete button on the keyboard. Now, see the status bar. The status bar shows us the fully defined sketch status. And our sketch geometry has black color for all of the geometry. Okay, this is the recommended sketch status. Now how about the over-defined sketch status? We will add a degree angle dimensions on this perpendicular line's geometry. Click Smart Dimension. Then click this line. And click the other one. Drag the pointer and click. And there's a notification appears. Click Leave this dimension driving. Click OK. Look in the status bar. Now we can see the over-defined sketch status. Why this is be over-defined? It's because we already had a perpendicular relations on that sketch lines. So if we add the 90-degree dimension, that will be not usable and be over-defined. To solve this, we can delete the one of them. In this case we will delete the 90-degree dimension. Click the dimension. Push delete button on the keyboard. Okay, now we have the fully defined sketch again. Finally, we get the sketch geometry with a shape and dimension as we want. we can go to the top right corner of the graphic area, then click Exit Edit Sketch to accept this sketch and exit from sketching position. Now after we click Exit Edit Sketch, the status bar show editing part notification, and the sketch now have a gray color. That means we already exit from sketching position and ready to add 3D geometry feature using this sketch. Number 7. How to change the sketch into 3D geometry with Extrude feature. After we exit from editing sketch position and we are now in the editing part position, and after we have a fully defined sketch geometry of rectangle shape with exact size as we want, we will use this 2D rectangle sketch profile as our main profile in 3D extrude geometry. Extrude feature means we attract the 2D sketch profile into specific size that we want as a 3D extruded geometry. Like the PVC pipe as the sample. The PVC pipes have a hollowed circular as the main 2D profile, and then the main 2D profile extruded into specific length. So we can get the 3D geometry of PVC pipes through extrusion process. Okay, now go to Feature Command Manager. Click Extrude feature. Then, choose and click the sketch that we want to extrude. We can click the sketch that listed in the Feature Manager design tree. Or we can click the line that represents our rectangle 2D sketch geometry in the graphic area. In the Extrude Property Manager, we can adjust the extrude length and the extrude direction. Input the 5 mm as a extrude length. Click OK. Now, we have a 3D geometry of rectangle shape with 300 mm by 200 mm wide and 5 mm thickness. Go to Feature Manager Design Tree. Here, we can see our extrude feature are listed, so we can edit it in the future if we want. Now, expand the extrude feature with click the small arrowhead icon beside it. We can see the sketch that we used for extrude feature are in here. Okay, click the graphic area or push Escape button to clear the selection. Okay guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you can more understanding about the sketching in SolidWorks. If you think this video can be benefits for the others, please share this video. Don't forget to support us with subscribe to our channel and watch our videos. See you in the next video.